I thank the member for Tamworth. We're considering private member statements. Are there any private member statements? I call the member for Baulkham Hills.
Thank you, Mr Acting Speaker. It was once again great to don the hard hat, boots and high vis yesterday with the Premier and the Minister for Transport, along with my colleague, the member for Londonderry, and of course Her Worship, the Mayor of the Hills, Councillor Michelle Burns, and yesterday announcing and launching the launch of the tunnel of the North West Rail Link. It's a refreshing sight for my electorate that construction of the North West Rail Link is actually happening, and the Premier was in a fantastic mood, but I suspect that had more to do with the football results of the weekend than it had his visit to my electorate. But nevertheless, it was great to see him there and sharing in this wonderful celebration. The Labor government did not deliver. Labor continually broke promises regarding to new infrastructure, particularly the North West Rail. I have an article where Baulkham Hills Councillor Larry Bolitho, the former mayor, mentions that we're still waiting for the North West Rail Link, and that was in 1996, waiting on former Premier Bob Carr's Rail Link, which he promised as the Planning Minister in 1985. Over 2 decades of Labor failing to deliver on its promises, my community was waiting for a train line. That is why it was so refreshing to have been joined by Mr O'Farrell and Mrs Berejiklian yesterday to announce that we were not just delivering the project on time, but we're going to have the first boring machine in the ground ahead of schedule by the end of October. Obviously, this was also good for me because I'm the former, as the members would be aware, the CEO of the Civil Contractors Federation, so seeing some of my former members with their big toys, tunnelling and preparing for a boring machine which is 120 metres long, 900 tonnes, and will be cutting through 120 metres of Sydney sandstone every week. The project also represents the government's commitment to listening to people. I noticed last week that the North West Rail Link won the Planning Institute of Australia's Public Engagement and Community Planning Award. Improvements that came as a result of community feedback include 2 additional railway stations, 3,000 additional parking stations, and adding a bridge over Windsor Road at Rouse Hill, lessening construction impacts on motorists. Not only does the project help commuters by giving Sydney a world-class metro system similar to those in London, Paris and Singapore, and I note that the Opal card will be available to all Sydney stations by Friday, so we'll be well and truly to receive it in the North West when the rail link begins. The North West Rail is linking us with the North Shore line, the Northern line, and hopefully, if I get my way, the Richmond line, and of course any possibilities that will have with the future Badgerys Creek Airport, or indeed any commercial use at Richmond Airport. The project also provides 900 jobs to my community. Not only does that have a direct benefit to 900 extra people being employed in the Hills District, but it also has a multiplier effect on many other industries, from fuel distribution to the Gloria Jeans at Marketown, where workers may get their morning coffee. The project also provides an educational opportunity for many in my electorate. I launched the North West Rail Link Fast Tracking the Future program, which provides students with many hands-on opportunities to learn about the North West Rail Link. This vital piece of public infrastructure is providing students the opportunity to learn about planning for the future, Australian transport, the future of the Sydney's North West, and also the role of engineering in improving our livelihood. I'm thinking that many of the members opposite will also need a lesson on those things since they failed to deliver any of them. The North West Rail Link will be completed by 2019 and operational, with trains arriving every 5 minutes during the peak hour. The use of high-frequency transport ensures the need for a timetable and emulates the London Tube and the Singapore Metro, both of which are sensational world-leading metro people movers. The rail link, quite sensibly, uses driverless single-deck trains. Double-decker trains only provide 20 to 30% more capacity than single-deck. However, single metro trains have been able to move more passengers per hour in any other city than you could get with Sydney's double-decker trains. Single-deck trains are more than able to cater for communities in London, which are of the world's most iconic transport systems. And it's important to note there, Mr Acting Speaker, while people criticise the single-storey trains, it is safer, it is airier, it is lighter, and of course with these trains more agile and moving quicker, they certainly have proven to be popular in London and Singapore and Paris, and I'm looking forward to being able to emulate them in my electorate. The North West Rail Link is a key piece of infrastructure that has been a long time coming. I commend the federal government for listening to the people of the Hills and deciding to complete this project and completing it in a way that minimises disruption to the residents and is ahead of schedule. It is great that the end of the wait is more than in sight.